Hello, everyone, and welcome to Twin Stitches Designs podcast. My name is Julie, and today I have my wonderful friend Ellie of Artistic Lilly joining me today. Ellie, would you like to just tell people about yourself, what amazing yarn you dye, just who you are?
Okay, well, like she said, my name is Ellie, and I'm from Artistic Lilly Yarns. You can find me on Instagram on Artistic Lilly. I have a shop, artisticlilly.com, and I've been dyeing yarn since 2016. Yeah, I dye yarn, I knit, and I make new friends all the time, and I have a good time. So,
Good.
yep.
I mean, we've known each other for what? Has it been over 2 years? Has to.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Because I remember we've collaborated a lot in the past, and I want to say like one of our first ones was I think the Coffee House Sock Club the first time,
hmm
and 2 years this fall.
Yeah, time gets away, so
Yeah.
hmm yeah,
Well, I'm so excited. We've been wanting to do this for a while. Me and Ellie have talked back and forth just on trying to get a podcast going, an episode together. And I'm just absolutely so excited for us
yeah,
to finally be able to sit down and do it. Because
yes,
it's early in the morning for you.
yeah. So, Julie is like 2 hours ahead of me,
Yeah.
and it is right now, it's almost 8 o'clock. So it's like almost 10 o'clock for you.
I applaud you. I don't know if I would be 100% like fully awake and ready at 8 a.m. in the morning. So I completely
Well, I wanted to put on a little extra makeup and stuff because,
I
in the mornings, I really show my age, put it that way.
don't care.
But
So
yeah.
going through kind of a normal podcast, finished objects, what we're working on, and it's going to be super exciting because Ellie, I have no idea what you're working on.
You know, I I sometimes post on Instagram when I'm working on, but I haven't lately. It's just I don't know. I've just been so busy with, I think, just life in general that, I dye my yarn, I do a little bit knitting, and then there's like other stuff I got to deal with, like doctor's appointments and dentist appointments, and just taking care of, the family. So, I don't, I feel like I here lately, I spend time knitting, but it's like I'm just, well, in the springtime, it's really busy for us because, then you gotta, plant flowers and mow the grass and do all this other stuff. So springtime is really busy. So I don't get to sit down and relax so much because I'm just on the go, just nonstop doing. But yeah, so like yesterday, we opened our pool, so that
Oh
was
my God,
exciting. Yeah,
that's
but
funny because yesterday here it was sunny, raining, and then we also had I know what it's called in French, but it was like huge. What do you call it? It's like big ice pellets.
oh,
Yeah. Um,
we call
oh,
it hail here.
yeah. So like everything above. Like it was just a crazy day. We are nowhere near planting flowers yet. Like it is just, it's so funny to see you guys how you're opening up your pool already,
Uh-huh.
and I'm you're like in a big wool sweater.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was like 80 degrees, which okay, I don't know what that is in Celsius. It was
Oh my!
very warm here yesterday. But it's funny, in April, we had this weird snowstorm that came through. It never snows here in April, never. And just out of the blue, and it was like coming down like huge snowflakes covering everything. It's like, wow, what is this weather?
April has been really weird for us. There was one day where it was sunny, raining, and snowing all in the same day. Like it was
Sounds like
sunny.
the Midwest.
It's been so weird here, but I am excited for the summertime, and I'm just excited to get um, all being outside and enjoying the warm weather and
Yeah.
being bringing the girls outside
Hmm.
and getting all of us out of the house.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. When you got little ones, you want to get out of the house, burn off some of that energy. Yeah, I remember those days.
I like we have like a little water table. I can't wait to just bring them outside and for them just to splash on the water table and to get out. Like
Hmm.
I love those days where you can just be outside like most like almost all day
Yeah.
and they crash at night. It's like thank the
Yeah.
Lord, we just absolutely crash. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, my kids are older now. My oldest is 19 and my youngest is 15, and she'll be 16 in July and getting her license.
oh my
And then my oldest will be 20 this year, so oh gosh.
how
So
how
I know I miss those days where they were little and just everything was so much simpler. So it's
yeah, the girls turned 3 in January.
wow, three. I love
3
those younger years.
right now. I think they're at a really nice age. I would not have said that about a year ago. They're at a really good age because they're really playful together. They're playing a lot more together. Like they have like little Barbies and little things, and I'm seeing them like make believe with it, and that you're seeing that imagination really develop. And it's just,
Mhm.
I think that right now is just like that perfect age where they're just really wanting to play a lot. So I'm like, gives me a little bit more time. That's
Yeah,
why like a little bit more knitting than usual.
yeah. They
So
can
they,
play independently, and that gives you time. Yeah.
yeah, and they love playing with each other, so that helps
Hmm.
a lot.
They're so
So
cute. I love them. They're so adorable.
thank you. I
Oh.
like showing them off here and there, but I don't like posting too much about it. But if anybody follows my stories, you will see them pretty much all the time in the stories. It's pretty much where they'll be.
Whoa, that's a big cup.
I know. I know. Like my iconic cup. No, like every time I do stories or anything, I love lattes, so it's like this much milk and like that much coffee.
You're like my daughter. She's like, make me coffee, but just put a little bit of coffee in it and lots of milk. I'm like, that's not really a coffee, dear. That's
It is. It is.
that's flavored milk.
Well, you could say that, but I have like two. This is my second cup, and usually sometimes I'll do three. Three.
Wow.
That's that's the mom life. So,
Yeah. Oh, you want to hear a funny story with me and coffee? So I have been
yes.
drinking coffee every day since I can't even remember. I mean, I was drinking coffee like way back when, kids usually hated coffee. So, and then last year I started in the mornings. I would get up in the mornings and do my thing and have my coffee. And I tell you what, it's like my stomach started just hurting so bad. And then I would spend like hours in the bathroom, hours. And when it first started happening, it just gradually. And so it happened every now and then. And I was like,
Okay.
huh, I wonder if I'm coming down with something, whatever, because, oh man, I feel like I was coming down with the flu, getting sick. And then it started happening more often. And then pretty soon it was like every single morning, my stomach would just like,
Turn it up.
oh, it just, and then I would be in the bathroom for like hours. And my husband's been working home for the past year, so he would be like, yeah, that's real. And so we started to think, well, maybe it's milk. Maybe I've developed something with milk, because I'd
Yeah.
have cereal with milk, and that wasn't it. And sure enough, it turned out to be coffee. And the coffee, after all these years, my body's like, nope, no more coffee for you. I was
No.
So I would take a week off and then I would have another cup. And sure enough, man, that day was just ruined because it-
So beans, it's just the caffeine.
so I think what it is, so I even tried a different brands of coffee, thinking
Yeah.
maybe it was different types of
Yeah.
beans, and that didn't make a difference. And then I would even, kind of lower the strength a little bit, but that didn't make a difference. And so I would, take a week off, then try it again, and then I would be back in the same situation. So yeah, it was the coffee. And I think so I did a little research, and I think it's the acid in the coffee. And
It
uh,
just
yeah, it just doesn't agree with me. So, but I have found one type of coffee that I can drink, but I can only have one cup. But if I have two cups, forget it. I'm right back in the same situation. And
oh
that
my
it's called InstaFuel. It's by Laird's, I think. It is an instant coffee, but they put in like a coconut creamer type stuff in it. But that I can drink, and I have one cup, and that's the only thing I can have right now as far as coffee. So I was drinking teas like every single morning because it's hard to go from drinking coffee every morning to just, it's really hard to do. But
I have no idea how you're doing it. I mean, wow. That's crazy. Wow.
yeah. So I can still have just this InstaFuel coffee, but I can only have one cup of it. As far as my other coffee, I can't have any other type of coffee or not. It just ruins my day.
Oh,
So,
I feel awful for you. I really do. I feel, oh my gosh. That is awful, Ellie.
yeah. So, but I am celiac also. So who knows? My body is just messed up. The older I get, the worse things get. I don't know.
Oh
So,
gosh.
yeah.
Until I had the girls. Before that, never drank coffee, didn't like the smell, didn't like the taste, didn't like anything about it. And I had the girls when I was 26, 20, 26, 27. Yeah, and that's when I started drinking coffee after I stopped breastfeeding. And I was just like, the girls were like, had their nights reversed and they were colicky for the first 3 months. It was the worst. I love my children, but I don't think I could go through those first 6 months ever again. We were I never drank coffee and I was taking espresso shots at night to try to stay awake because it was just so chaotic and it was just like overwhelming. So yeah, I only started drinking coffee after the girls. And now it's like I need my cup of coffee. My husband knows. Even the girls now, it's so funny because they will wake up and my husband always makes our coffees and they go to the coffee machine and they're like, Papa, cafe, mama, cafe, mama. And he knows like, I turn it on. I'm like, oh gosh. So, oh dear. All right.
Well,
Do you have
well,
any finished objects? Do you have anything to show that you've finished?
yes. So Lily's teachers, one of her teachers she's actually leaving. She won't be teaching at the school next year, and she's also expecting a baby. So I wanted to make her something. So I've been knitting some baby socks. So I'll just show you. So let's see here. It's kind of blown out. Let's see. Wow, this white's it's hard to see.
A little bit. Oh, you see that
Uh,
texture? Oh, right there.
so
Oh,
that's one. Let me show a different color. Here's another one. Little
oh,
baby socks. And then I'm almost finished with another pair. Let me get it.
those are adorable.
And then she wouldn't tell me if it was a boy or girl, so I've been trying to knit colors
Yeah.
that would go for either one. So she's like, "Well, we're saving it as a surprise." I'm like, "Okay." But so I've been busy working on baby socks for Lily's teacher.
That's
Oh, if
adorable.
anybody didn't know, my shop is Artistic Lily, and I named it after my daughter.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of
okay.
things are Lily, don't they?
Yeah. hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah,
Is
that's hmm,
those?
what's that?
Is there a pattern for those?
I actually, yes, I used get my pattern.
I'll oh, oh and
Okay.
Allie, everything I talk about, I always link everything in the you want to go and check out the shop and follow her. Everything will be down below.
Okay. So it is the perfect
Oh,
newborn socks,
by
and
Tabby.
it's yes, yes. Um, I changed a couple of things in the pattern. Like the heel, she had like the textured heel, where you slip one, knit one. I didn't do that because they're baby socks, so it's like I just knit across. I didn't do the slipping of the stitches.
Sure.
That I don't think I changed anything else besides the heel. Yeah. hmm
Oh, I love those. She's gonna appreciate that so much.
Yeah, she's a type of teacher that she is artistic herself, so she appreciates, you know, I mean, she follows me on Instagram and she always likes my sweaters and yarn and stuff, but she doesn't knit herself. She's the type of person that
You know,
I think,
made.
yeah, yeah, she'll appreciate it, knowing that it's handmade. Yeah. Mhm. But as far as finished objects, let's see what else. I haven't really finished. Well, sort of. So I every Christmas I knit my family socks and I put it in their stocking. So I've started on that. And just see if I was up. Um, so I finished a pair for my daughter, and I haven't started my husband and my son's socks. But so I really haven't finished much lately, but I have been working on things. That's probably about the only thing I have to show as far as finished objects.
All right. Sounds good. All right. I finished quite a few things. All right, let me put this down. I'm just knitting on dishcloths at the same time we're chatting. All right. From the last time I podcasted, I finished off a sweater. So
Ooh,
I've not woven in my ends, but I still count this as finished.
yeah.
Once things are off my needles, it's finished. I don't care if it's not blocked, or if it's not woven. If it's off the needles and there's no more actual knitting, it's done.
hmm Right.
So I knit the Easy Eyelet Yoke sweater by Chantel of Knititude, and I knit this out of Knit Picks Twill in the
hmm
Fiddlehead colorway. And it is
Oh, it's
done.
beautiful. Gorgeous.
All done.
I love that color.
Thanks. I do too. Usually I gravitate towards gray and neutrals. Anybody who knows me knows that. But
hmm
I asked on Instagram for people to vote if they wanted a gray or if they wanted the green. And like I want to say it was like 80% of people said green. So I was like,
hmm
okay, I gotta listen to everybody.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
thanks. I'm excited to wear it. I'm not sure if I want to kind of block it out and get it ready for the fall and
hmm
just like save it. Um, but yeah, so I started this April 3rd and I wanted to start and finish the sweater in a month.
You are fast. I don't know how you do it with two little ones running around.
Every, everybody says that. They're like, I have no idea how you knit. I don't know. I I don't know. I don't know. I do and I don't know. They go to bed early-ish at night, so I get a
Uh-huh.
ton of knitting done at night. And yeah, whenever they're playing, I try to bring it around. I always try to have like a vanilla-ish thing to bring around so
hmm
I can kind of knit if they're playing outside, if they're doing whatever, right? So I'm always trying to bring something. Um, so, but yeah, I'm really happy because she was doing a knit along for this, so I've actually finished it. And I'm so excited to wear it.
Good.
So,
Now, we need to
this,
talk about what we're wearing too, so don't forget about that.
oh yeah. What are you wearing?
Okay, so I'm wearing the Navali So there it is.
Oh, did you knit that out of your yarn?
Yes, I did. So if you notice, it's not as loose as like the pattern, because the pattern
Yeah.
is very, I wanted it more slender.
Yeah.
So,
It
but
is
yeah,
beautiful.
so I really like the details on it. I knitted out of my yarn, Yay Silky Singles. And it's so I'm a person that gets hot like really easily. And I tell you with this the silky singles, it does not get hot on me, which is good because being short sleeve, I want to be able to wear it in warmer weathers and it's cool and I don't get hot and sweaty in it, which is good.
Perfect.
But I really like it. So I finished it last year, just in time
Okay.
for my birthday. So I thought, you know what, I want to get it out for the podcast. So
Oh,
I really like the color work on it. It's just
beautiful.
good. I like it. But so your sweater looks beautiful.
Thank you. This is my cozy Sunday sweater
I like that.
that last year that I designed. So this one is knit out of Tulle Matin yarns in her DK, and I just really love it. It's just a super simple colorwork yoke, and yeah, just kind of loose fitting, not too tight.
Hmm.
So I love it. I love throwing on just sweaters when it's like a little chilly out, and
Hmm.
I just love those simple sweaters that you can just put on. You don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
gorgeous. I love it. I love
thank you.
the colors that you chose. Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me to what we're wearing, because yeah, I would have.
You know, I need more because in here in the Midwest, we get cold weather, but it doesn't last that long typically. You know, it gets a little chilly in the fall, but then for me, especially since I'm going through that change and I get hot very easily, I'm going to make a point to knit more short sleeves because even during the winter, I tend to throw on short sleeves and then I'll just throw on a hoodie over it or something, you know. But yeah, I really want to make more short sleeve sweaters.
I love that you know what you're gonna wear the most, and I think like that's one of the things. Sometimes I go for patterns, and I'm like, am I actually gonna wear it? Am I actually going to put this on and wear it? Because a lot of times I look at a pattern, I'm like, I love it, I love the look of it, I would love to knit it, but I'm actually not gonna wear it.
Exactly.
For me right now, I'm wanting to knit a lot of like super loose sweaters and cardigans. I've been looking at, I have not made the no frill sweater. I've not made it by Petite Knits. You know, that one you hold like the fingering weight with the mohair.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody and their grandmothers made one. We're good? We're good and back? All right. So since the last podcast, I finished 2 pairs of socks as well. So
Go
this
girl.
one, what?
Go girl. I mean, you're doing sweaters and socks, and I'm sitting over here going, whoo, I can't get this sweater done that I've started last year.
Please, so much yarn. I don't have that. So I knit. You have your hands so full with yarn dyeing, and you do a lot with that. So this pair of socks is just for my Patreon members. We hit like a fun milestone. So I designed this pair of socks for them.
Nice. You said they were DK?
Yeah, so I held fingering weight double for the whole thing, and kind of had fun. So they were 250-gram skein of yarn, and I held them throughout. So it's full Moon Fibres in their splash pad, 50 set. So you get 50 grams of this this gray and then of the pink. So yeah, they get the full instructions, full afterthought heel, just really fun, simple, cute pattern. So that one is for my Patreon members. And then I finished another pair of socks that I have not shown anywhere yet. I know. I'm not even sure if to sneak peek, nothing. So I'm going to share a little bit, not too much. So
Look at the heel. I love it. Love
I know.
it.
And then
Oh, the toe.
so this is going to be for a fun. I've always hinted a project that I'm going to be working on. Hopefully coming out in June. So really love this. This again is held fingering weight double, but I will be writing up the instructions for both single strand and double stranded for the pattern, so people have options and do whatever they'd like. And this one is knit out of Polkadot Creek. Do I have? Thought I had her tag in the Lovenote sock set. So you have like this pink, this brown, and then this is the Lovenote main color.
It's gorgeous. I love it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm really, really excited for that.
I love DK socks. You know, a lot of people complains that, you know, you can't wear them but like during the winter, they fit perfect in my shoes. So in boots, especially.
I absolutely love, for some odd reason right now, I've been obsessed with holding fingering weight double. And I think that that's the fun thing is you can knit it up with a DK or you can use up some scraps. You can use up whatever. And if you want to make it with single strand, you can too. I think DKs are perfect for house socks on those cold days. Okay. Oh, I got two more. Okay. I know. So I've been finishing off everything this month. I'm trying to do that at every month. The end of the month, I'm finishing off a ton of projects. So I'm planning out certain projects for that month. And then by the end of the month, I want them done.
Wow.
Trying that out. So we'll see. But I just released this sock pattern. Have you watched Bridgerton? No? Okay. So it is a series on Netflix, and I did a 3-month pattern club out of Knit Picks yarns. And this one is Penelope Featherington. So it's like this fun. I know it's...
What is the show about? Those are gorgeous, by the way.
It's the Regency era, and it's all about these women trying to find their match and going to like balls, and it's like all elaborate, but then there's like a steamy side to it as well. Like that fun romance, steamy kind of. I think I'm explaining it right. If I'm not, comment below. Tell you all about it. You have to watch the trailer. You have to watch it. I think I've watched it 2 to 3 times now. It's just so good. On Netflix.
Okay. All right. So what color way is that? And who's it by?
So this is Knit Picks in Tonal in Poppy Field. So this, and the character Penelope wears yellow like crazy, like it very colorful, very. So yeah, so this pattern actually just came out yesterday and was the last one in the club.
Those are beautiful. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Really like
I love that. I love the lace detail on it, and then you have like
cable.
A cable. So that's not. Yeah, that's okay. I know sometimes people do like a faux cable, but I can tell. Yeah, that's really nice.
Thank you. I really love this pair. Really, really do. So yes, that came out yesterday. So for anybody wondering, I usually leave the club patterns only available with the club until 1 month after. So June 1st, all the patterns of the club will be available for individual purchase, just to give everybody of the club, you know, little priority purchased it. So that one came out yesterday. All right, I swear there's only one more. One more. I know, I've been knitting like a crazy person. Like I told you, I've been obsessed with holding fingering weight double. So I got this yarn. I got the yarn this week from Knit Picks. And it's Hawthorne in their Slabtown colorway, which is a 80-20 blend. And these skeins.
Yeah, I like that color. Mm-hmm.
I do too, and I found that, so I held it just double, just a plain, let me see, put on a sock blocker, just a plain sock. I just wanted kind of like a vanilla knitting. I finished some designs, so I just wanted
Mm-hmm.
just plain.
Those are pretty.
Thank you. I just finished one, and yeah, I just held it double. I'll probably, I was thinking of just putting up the recipe for this pattern just on my blog, so in case anybody wants to knit one up. I just did a full afterthought heel. I cast on 40 stitches because I find Hawthorne is a little bit bulkier than just the regular fingering weight. It's a little thicker.
Is it kind of almost like a sport?
Yeah, a light sport weight, I would say. It's a little bit thicker. Yeah. So I went up to a US 5, and then I did 40 stitch count. And I think it turned out perfect for, I have tiny feet, so I found they perfect for it. I did just a 2x2 rib. And that's it.
Those are nice. Yep. Like it.
Okay, that is it for finished objects. I promise.
Woo!
I stuff off. I love being able to actually finish things off, clean the project bags, like have that feeling of like it's done. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love it when I finish an object, but it doesn't happen very often.
That is okay. What are you working on right now?
So I've got several things. Let me get my bag. I'm working on a sweater. It's called Rainy Drops by Ellie. I'm going to mess up her last name. Let me pull it up here. Ellie, where's it at?
You can also put if you want, and I'll put it up.
Okay, it's Ellie Shimizu. Okay, I'm just totally destroying her last name. But I really like her designs, and this was one of them. Let's see. I wonder if I can share. I bet I could share a photo of it, but let me show you the project. Anyway, here it is. It's got this really nice collar that I like. See how it's like...
Is it
what's that?
Fold over?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful.
And then it's got like a bubble sleeve. So I'm almost done with the sleeve here. All I have to do is like bind off my sleeve. And let's see. And then the bottom is just... There's nothing fancy on the bottom. You do it like a cable bind off, but it just kind of naturally rolls up, you know. So all I have left is the, I'm almost done with the sleeve, and then I've got this sleeve, but I'm knitting it with my Yay Silky singles.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice and lightweight and it won't make me hot. And the colorway is Heartstrings. And I have not tried it on yet. So, but I think it's going to fit because it's supposed to be a little loose. So there's room to play when it's loose like this. I just wanted to see if I could get a picture to share so you could see what it looks like. Let me see if I got it here.
Because if not, I could definitely post a link to it as well in the description.
Yeah, let me see here. Okay. I'm grabbing the photo here. Now, it's been a while since I shared photos. Well, I can't figure out how to...
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay, So I used to be able to share photos. So I don't know if I forgot to mention at the beginning, if anybody's recognized me, I'm also from the Knitting Hookup, and I do with Melissa from Spicy Homemaker, but we haven't podcasted for like over a year. And anyway, I used to share stuff on there, and it's been over a year, so I've forgotten how to do that.
Do not worry at all. And yes, yeah. We used to, and I used to love watching you guys. It's funny.
So anyway, Rainy Drops by Aerie. It's a really pretty pattern. And anyway, I've been working on it since last year.
You can get it that.
But yeah, so, well, you know what? I think, so the reason why I've kind of put this down, because I was finishing a sweater that I knit for my daughter. So I kind of, when I first started this last year, I stopped knitting on it so I could, because she requested a sweater. And first time she's ever requested a sweater. So I was like,
Yep.
Okay, I'm doing the sweater. And yeah, I stopped doing everything else, and I started working on her sweater, and I got that finished because I wanted to get that one like off the needles, but
Yep.
I don't have it here to show you. So it's a Harry Potter inspired sweater. It was on my Instagram account. I had shared it when I finished it. So if you want to see it, go to my Instagram and go through my stuff. You'll see it. I couldn't show her face. It's the one without the face. It shows her like, because I got in trouble. You can share, but you can't share my face. Okay. That's what you had to look forward to when you get teenage daughters.
Oh, yeah. I was not an easy teenager, so yeah, I'm not excited for those stages.
We've had it pretty easy with her. She's been pretty good. There's some things that she takes after me, and I know it's like payback for when I was a teenager.
I mean, nobody's perfect, okay? I don't care. Nobody was a perfect child, so we'll deal with it.
Yeah. So let's see, and then some other things. I've been working on the northeasterly blanket. It's kind of like my morning. So when I get up in the morning, I get around, and then before I take my daughter to school, I sit and I knit, and I've been knitting on my northeasterly blanket.
Oh my gosh.
So I have how long I want it to be, because I'm kind of OCD on that. I want to know how long something's going to be. And then I will work on the width of it. So these are all my yarns that I've dyed, and so it's going to be like a memory blanket for me of all the yarns I've dyed. So
beautiful.
So I really like it. It's super easy and simple, and you could probably hold the yarn like double to make it go quicker and faster. So
are you holding
since I can get yarn at a discount,
yeah.
I had some extra mohair I put back for myself, and I only mixed the mohair with the colored parts, and then this is an alpaca yarn, and it has a natural kind of halo to it. So yeah, so I do that in the mornings.
That is so beautiful.
Before
and date that you're planning, or is it just no dates at all and just whenever you finish it?
Yeah, it's an ongoing thing. It's something it's relaxing in the morning. I can get up, I get most of my morning chores done, and then the time I have, I sit before I have to leave and take my daughter to school, because once I take her to school and then I get back, then I'm like busy dyeing yarn or packing orders, or I just get really busy. So it's my little bit in the morning. I just sit down and relax for it's like a half hour, and I can
perfect.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm also knitting, I'm knitting a blanket for my son because he's going away to Illinois State University this fall. And I want him to have a blanket that I knit for him. So let me go get it.
Yes.
Okay. So this blanket is called the Modern, oh my gosh, Modern Mountain Throw Pattern. So, Modern Mountain Throw Pattern.
You can hear birds chirping from your...
I have the windows open, so if it's annoying, let me know and I'll close it.
It doesn't bother me.
So here it is. Let me get it to where it doesn't blow out. Okay. Modern Mountain Throw. And there it is. So it's got the like texture here. And this is by Mama in a Stitch. And so the yarn I'm using is the same yarn that she used, which is Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick.
Yeah.
And so let's see here. So here it is. You can kind of see that I like the this brand because it's got, you can put it in the washing machine. So for a college kid, I didn't want to use some fancy yarn.
Don't yarn for that.
No. So I go through all this work. I want it to, you know, to be a sturdy yarn. But yeah, so I'm busy working on that. So I want something from his mom to take with him.
Okay, see, I am doing little tiny socks. You're doing full blankets. No wonder you're not finishing off a ton of stuff. I mean, I'm just doing like these little socks, and you're like, I'm not knitting, pulling out all these huge blankets.
I guess so.
Come on.
So, my son and I, we're a very close family, and we do a lot of things together. That's just, you know, different families are different, especially when the kids get older. A lot of kids are, you know, they run off and they do other things with their friends and stuff, but our family's always been kind of very family focused, and we do a lot of things together. That's just, I guess that's how I grew up, and so I kind of like am doing the same thing like with our kids. And because I see a lot of kids, other kids from other families, and you know, they're always gone over here and they're doing this and doing that, and we're just always, it's not like I don't tell them not to, you know, they go and they do things with their friends, but we also do a lot of things as a family. And so when my son was around, what grade was he? Maybe he was around 4th or 5th grade. We started watching like Doctor Who together and spending that quality time. And it was just something that we could do as a mother and a son. And we enjoyed it together, because it was, when you have a boy, it's really hard for a mom to find things to do with her son. And so that kind of clicked. And so ever since then, we've always been big on watching movies together and like TV shows like Doctor Who, whatever. And so we've gotten into this pattern where we'll watch like a series of movies, like you have The Hobbit and you have The Lord of the Rings, you know, and we'll spend like an hour here, an hour there, and watch those, because like, I'm just doing Lord of the Rings, for example. It's like the extended version of the movie is like 4 hours long. Well, we can't watch that all at once, you know. So we'll just break it down like into hour. And that's just, so while we watch those things together, I knit on this blanket, so he will have a memory of me sitting there, spending time, and I'm knitting on the blanket. So.
Oh my god. That's super emotional.
So.
I'm serious. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I want to create those memories. So when he snuggles up with this blanket, he'll go, man, I remember watching those movies with my mom. So.
Oh, Ellie. Oh my God, you're going to make me cry.
So. Don't you do that. I don't want to do that.
We are such, like, I remember we talked about this before. I think we talked about this, like, last summer or something, that how close, like, our families were and things like that. Because I want to grow up, like, the girls to grow up like that, where we do a lot of things together, because that's what I did with my family. I want, like, Friday nights to be movie night and Saturday nights to be, like, game night. Like, I want that close family thing. Just, I think that's why I get emotional, because I just think, like, that's what I want later on, for the girls to actually want to spend time with me. But I've always said, and my mom's always said, when they're young, if you want to spend time with them, they're going to want to spend time with you.
Exactly.
And I feel that. So I want that, like, as they grow up. So, oh my gosh, that is so special. I can't even. I can't even. Okay, we're going to switch subjects. Julie's going to cry.
So, funny story. So, every year, ever since my son was born, we always go to the mall and get a picture with Santa.
Yeah.
So, that's always been, so as they gotten older, that's always been like a Christmas present for me, is to still go. Yep. Even, so last year with the whole COVID thing, I was like, well, you know, we can skip it this year. And I thought they would be just fine with it, because they always moan and groan and complain, oh my gosh, we gotta go and get a picture with Santa, all of us, you know. So I was like, okay, we'll just skip it. And I got in big trouble. They're like, we can't skip it. So it turns out that even though they moaned and groaned and complained about it, that the first time I was going to skip it, that wasn't okay with them. And so we went and we took a family photo with Santa, and Santa was in the background because it's COVID.
Yep.
And our bench is in the front, and we all had our masks on, and we're all sitting there. I should go get it and show you. It's quite funny. So, but I don't know if anybody cares about seeing it. But so we've gone. So it's been.
You want to?
It's been 20 years. Every single year, we've had a picture with going as a family and taking a picture with Santa. But anyway.
That's so special. And yes, if you want to go too.
Okay. You guys are probably like, I don't really care to see this photo, whatever.
If you don't, you can skip. You can skip. There's always the skip.
I'll just show it really quick.
Please do. And for anybody here, I am just working on my dishcloth, because we are dishy dimanche. I'm just working on some Knit Picks while we're chatting, so I'm getting my dishcloth done for the day. All right, so.
Okay. There we are. That's my husband. That's Lily. There's me, and there's my boy. So, and there's Santa way in the background.
With the mouse. Oh my God, I love it. You are going to see that photo for years to come.
It's still on my fridge because I love it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. Are you on anything else?
I think that's it.
That's it? All right. I am only working on 2 things because I cut off everything. So last night, me and Ellie were watching on Friday. Today we're Sunday. And I was just like, oh, podcast on Sunday? And she was like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God. I was freaking out because I had nothing on my needles. Because I finished off everything. I know.
Oh, well, gosh, that's a horrible problem to have.
Well,
I finished everything and I have nothing on my needles.
Yeah. So, I had to cast on stuff yesterday, so I do not have a ton of progress. But I I was just sitting down and I was like, okay, what do I need to get done this month? What do I want my goals to be? So first up, I have a bag. This is out of Mrs. Cassiopeia K. Purchased her bag last year. And I am knitting up a pair of socks that I am going to be doing a YouTube tutorial for the colorwork portion. So I've gotten a lot of requests on knitting colorworks on socks and kind of holding your tension, floats, all of that fun stuff. So last night I cast on the cuff, or yesterday. I got my cuff done, and I've decided on the colorwork chart. So this yarn is, I'm trying to hold it out, Knit Picks Stroll in Treasure, and then I just have the white, so I'm going to be doing these two. The white's kind of blowing out a little bit, but...
Very nice.
Yeah. So I'm knitting these on 2.5 millimeter needles. I did a 2x2 rib, which is my favorite, and I'm just about to do the cover. So actually this morning when we're done chatting, that I'm hoping to film the colorwork if I have a chance before I go get the girls. Month throughout the year for a lot of socks, pretty much, because it's my thing. So yes, I'm hoping that would be up, the tutorial, maybe next week, the week after, if I can get it done today. We'll see. And then the next project that I have on needles is a bag by Stephanie of the Creative Knitter. Absolutely love her bags.
Those are pretty.
Yeah, I love it. Nice drawstring. Love a good drawstring because I always fold it over, and I have them like as yarn bowls, so I can carry it around. Okay, so I am knitting up. So this pair of socks is going to be with the same fun project as this. It's a sock set by Sweet Skein of Mine. This is her Daydreamer. Oh, stop. There we go. Sweet Skein of Mine with the makeup on her 81010 merino wool, cashmere, and nylon. So this is the colorway Daydreamer.
Pretty.
Yeah, it's like a cream base with fun. So I started the cuff. Like this.
I like that pink.
Yeah, I think it goes like really, there we go. See it?
Yeah.
Really well. So I started the cuff yesterday, and then I also have like a gold.
Ooh. That's going to be a fun sock.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I have the pattern all kind of charted out, everything. So pretty much as soon as I get the tutorial done for the socks, this is going to be my main focus. So those two. And that's it. So I literally, like I said, just cast them on yesterday. And I'm like done for today. All right. That is it for on my needles. The only other thing I've skeined up is this skein from Less Traveled Yarns. This is in her Aspen colorway.
Pretty.
So over on my Patreon group for the month of May, what I'm doing is a fun Design With Me series. So I'm getting the Patreon members to decide what we're doing. So I let them choose a skein of yarn. Then they choose if they want textured or cabled socks, if they want single strand or double stranded, what type of heel do they want. They're going to be deciding on the ribbing. They're going to be deciding like all of the details of the sock. And then I'm going to be designing it for them. They're going to be getting it for free, and then I'll release the pattern at the end of the month to everybody else.
That is really cool. That
yeah,
cool.
It would be kind of like a fun project to do. So, yeah, if anyone's interested, I always have my link down below. And this one is going to be, I just need to get them to decide on the ribbing, and then I'll get casting going. So.
All right.
Fun. That is it for...
That is it. Okay.
Did you get any stuff yarny?
The only thing that I've gotten lately, let's see, was during Easter, is I bought some, so I have an addiction to like self-striping yarn. Because I don't do it, I appreciate the time it takes to do it. Because there's no way I'd have patience to do it myself. So, there's so many great self-striping yarn dyers out there. I've got like a big bowl of self-striping, but the latest one I bought was from Mustache Yarn, and it is her For Peep's Sake. It's just, I just really like the colors in there. So
I have not tried her yarn, but it is beautiful.
I just really like those colors. It's really pretty. So I haven't bought a whole lot lately as far as yarn, just because I try to really slow down as far as buying yarns, and until I'm like ready to knit the project.
Yeah.
So, I have a couple of things I'm going, as soon as I finish this other sweater, that I want to knit up, and I want to knit the Turtle Dove 2, because I already have a Turtle Dove.
Okay.
And I want to knit the Turtle Dove 2, and I want to knit it in this like white colorway here. And this is Drops Air. So I think it's the same, I'm pretty sure it's the same yarn that's recommended for the pattern. And what's that?
I said I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's super fluffy and stuff. So I have yarn, but I bought this like last year. That's the problem, is I do all this dreaming of projects I want to do, and I go ahead and buy the yarn, and then the yarn sits. But that's okay, because when I'm ready, it's there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was that.
I did get things in the mail. So one of my friends is Nicole from Nicole C. Mendez. She's also, she's a self-striping dyer down in Germany. And she sent these over to me. So this one was from her Bridgerton series. This one is Penelope. It's so funny because I came out with my yellow Penelope, and then she sent this self-striping. Really cool. And then she sent me her Harry Potter club. So this is Vault 687.
Ooh, yeah.
She's so good at striping. Really love that. So she sent these to my way. The next one is from Vita Lifestyle. She just came out with a whole collection of her fudge. I know it. Rejuvenate. And she wanted me to design a pair of socks. So this is her chamomile and lemongrass sock set.
Ooh, that's nice. Yeah. It's so pretty.
So on the needles eventually.
Yeah.
And the last package I received was from Brianna of the Little Wolf Knits, and she sent over this fun sock set for me to either give away or knit up. Mm-hmm. So this is her From the Open Road Chicago sock set. Really pretty.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And sent over this cute mohair and fingering weight. So those will be some fun. Yeah. This is Night Sky and Surf.
Pretty.
Yeah. So that's it for everything I got in the mail. And then on last week's podcast, we had this amazing skein of Madison and State that was up for a giveaway. I will put the name of the winner right here. So you can send me an email at twinstitchesdesigns3 with at gmail.com with your email, your address, and I will get that out in the mail to you guys. So congratulations. All right. Did you want to do the next?
So you always do a giveaway and I would be willing. So whoever the winner is, they can pick anything from my shop, a skein of anything.
Like you guys, Ellie's yarn is amazing. Give me 1 second. So you guys, I have some of Ellie's yarn, and it is just so beautiful. Are you okay if I show these off?
Oh, go ahead.
So, pumpkin spice that I purchased. I mean, if this doesn't scream fall, I don't know what does.
Yeah. Yep.
This one, okay, funny story. I won this skein of yarn from your previous podcast.
Oh.
Like 3 years ago. It was with like a speaker. Do you remember that?
Barely.
This is your city girl.
And it's got my old label on it too, so yeah. So it's a funny story. The new label is actually designed by my daughter.
Right here.
So
come on.
Can you? I have a. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So I gotta. Let's see. Okay.
There we go.
There we go. So yes. So that my new label.
It's beautiful.
So she actually designed that when she was 14. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that. And doesn't she also sell pins in your shop?
So yeah, she hasn't designed any new pins for a while. She's busy being a 15-year-old. She doesn't want to do anything for mom, as far as like, hey, can you do this? I'm busy doing my own stuff, Mom.
Yeah. Don't bug me.
But no, she, I actually paid her. I had to hire her to create my new logo. So yeah, I had to pay her, which is, hey.
Love it. Hey,
she deserved it. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, don't be. This is your Heartstrings. Is this the one that you did your cardigan? You're doing your, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I purchased this one. Ellie had a little sale, like, what was it, like 2 months ago? And I may have snagged a few skeins. I'm obsessed with her yarn. And then these are for some collabs. This one is, I'm pretty 100% sure you have this one in your shop right now. Stand in the Limelight.
I don't know. I have to look. I don't know if I got any more, but yeah, it might be in there. So
pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And this has to be probably one of my favorite ones, is Frog Belly. So you guys, Ellie has so many insanely beautiful colors. Like, one lucky winner. I mean, look at those. Look at those sparkles.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a green person, but like some of the greens I do, I really like. And I'm like, man, I need more stuff knitted in green.
I know.
It's such a really good color.
I find greens and oranges get a bad rep in knitting, and I don't know why. But like pumpkin spice, I mean, this orange is this is my orange. You know what I mean?
I'd like to knit a sweater in an orange for fall. So, you know, when you're starting to really get into that fall vibe, you can throw on that orange sweater. And...
Oh my God, could you imagine a no frills in pumpkin spice?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Ellie.
I do sweater quantity, so all you have to do is go to my website and contact me and say, hey, I would like a sweater's quantity of such and such. And I'll do it, because I don't always keep like sweater quantities in the shop, because it's hard to keep, like, it's expensive
Yeah.
to keep a ton of undyed yarn, or just
in case.
I mean, because I have the yarn, but it's, I think, plus I'm just one person. I can't dye up like tons and tons of one color. So I try to dye up enough color to put in there. So if someone wants a skein or 2 or 3, or...
Plus, I mean, if I'm knitting a sweater, I might want fingering weight or DK, and somebody else might want bulky, and then on different colors. Like, it's so difficult for you to have every single color in stock on every base that you have, because you offer different ones.
Yeah, well, and I do try to do that. Like with my latest colorway, this is the Weathered and Rust, and it's a gray background with the rust speckles. And this rust is, I always like to try to create my own colors. So this rust is actually 3 or 4 different colors that I'll mix together. And then put on there. So like this, so what I've been doing lately, I've noticed, is I'll take a colorway, and for like a week I'll dye it on all different bases, and then like at the end of the week, then I'll post that colorway on like all, on most of my bases. I find that easier to do. So, but
I saw that one on your Instagram. It is beautiful. Like, even that one would make a gorgeous sweater.
I know. I was dreaming of, okay, what sweater could I... Every time I come out with a color, I'm like, I'd really like a sweater out of that. So,
like, I'm seriously debating, like, this one.
But of course, I always tell people, if you want to knit a sweater in hand-dyed yarn, you need to buy it all at once, because I have a lot of people that will be knitting and then they'll come back like a year or so and they're like, I don't have enough to finish my project. I'm like, well, there's a good chance it won't, because also what people don't think about is your dyes. So when I run out of a dye, then I have to open up a new jar of dye. Well, sometimes those will vary, and plus, that day it might be a little bit more saturated than the time before. And so that's why you really need to plan out your project whenever you're buying hand-dyed yarns, to try to get it all at once. And then, of course, I always try to tell people, you really need to alternate your skeins. I know a lot of people are very daring, and they will knit a sweater and not, but it's okay if you're okay with it. Hey, I don't care. So, and you shouldn't care.
Not have that, because they're usually dyed in a way that if you're knitting from the same dye lot, you do not have to. But hand-dyed yarn is so beautiful, and it's so unique that one skein can take up a little bit more speckles, like Ellie's saying, and the other one not so much. So when you're alternating those skeins, you can do a helical knitting, you could do one round each, you could do so many different techniques for alternating your skeins in a sweater project, to really kind of create more of a cohesive look, rather than here's one skein, here's the next skein, so it just creates. You can do it, but you don't make the same effect that you're looking for.
Yeah, so this, I alternated the skeins with that helix knitting that you mentioned. And see, it really...
Perfect.
Yeah, to me, it gives a better look when you alternate skeins. And your project's just going to look much nicer, I think.
And you're not getting that block, like this skein. And you'll see, like, when you do that, you'll get, like, a line. And
it's like a diagonal line almost, and it kind of...
Where it, like, that skein started.
Yeah. Oh, I dropped my yarn. Where'd it go?
Somewhere.
Okay. Oh, I also have another tip. So if single yarns, whether it's my silky singles or anybody else's singles, I always tell people to don't use the center pull for single yarns, because the singles tend to catch, and you will get those little yarn barfs, and it can get tangled. So I always, if you're going to use singles, try to use it from the outside of the ball and not the center pole. So your life will be so much happier doing that.
Now, a lot of people don't use singles for sweaters. I've already knit singles and sweaters, and I don't understand. I love it. I think it knits up great and it stays. What's your opinion, especially that you're dyeing yarn with the singles base? Do you find it wearable? Do you find it long lasting? Because a lot of people have that. They think that there needs to be nylon or something else, that it's just going to fill like crazy.
So this is my, what I have on is my silky singles. And the reason why I like this over just, let's say, regular singles is the silk is in it. And you could think of silk as your nylon, basically. And it is a much sturdier than just your 100% singles. So I basically, if you look at my store, I used to do just the 100% superwash merino singles. But I find that it pills more, and the silky singles do not pill as much, and it's a little sturdier. It doesn't do hardly any stretching as far as, the superwash yarns, you have to worry about it stretching. So that's why now I pretty much only carry the silky singles, because I want to carry a yarn that I know is going to work better for someone. So that's why in my shop you don't see just the 100% superwash merino, because if you're gonna knit with singles, especially a sweater, do it with that has a little something else in it, and that silk gives you that little something else that you would want.
And what's the fiber content of it? Is it a 80-20? Is it what is it?
The silky singles, let's see here. It is, I have to look real fast. I forgot what because that gives people an idea as well, if they ever want a sweater quantity from your shop as well, kind of what to look for. So right. So it is a 70-30. So 70% superwash merino and a 30% silk is what it is.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So
those
that's
big tips.
So, and then since we're on this whole tip thing, something else that I think people sometimes struggle with is, okay, so you're winding the yarn and it gets tangled, right? So I think we've all been there before. And you're like, what is going on? So another tip I can give is, okay, so when you get your yarn and it's got the little ties on it, right? So, you got your ties, and then usually what I do is, hopefully everybody does this, you put your yarn on the, what do you call that?
Swift?
The what?
Your yarn swift?
Yeah, swift. Okay, and then you cut off the ties, right? So before you put it on your swift, take your tie and see if there's any yarn that's going the opposite direction of what it should be. So let me show you here, because normally, let me show you, see how all the yarn is going through your loops here? You will get a tangle if one of your yarns, I'll show you, is going the opposite direction. See that?
Yes.
So if you don't check, and usually whenever I skein up the yarns, I always do a check to make sure all the yarns are going in the right direction, and because sometimes you might have a string or two going the wrong direction. If you make sure that this is where it needs to be, you shouldn't get any tangles when you're winding it. So that's just a little tip.
That's amazing. Honestly, I did not know that. I usually try and always make sure, like everything, I usually take by the little knots, and I really push it through to make sure like there's nothing crazy, but I did not know of the direction.
Yeah. So what I do is when I'm winding it up, so I've been doing this for so long that when I go to skein it, I can almost feel it if there's one that's, because it's a little tension. So let me see here. So when one's not quite right, I can sometimes feel it, and I'm like, oops, I think there's. But I usually will always check to make sure that they're going in the proper direction before I skein it up. And that's just something about, and when you're buying from, handmade, if depending on the person who's doing it, that they can check those little things. And I always try to check every single skein of mine for, something doesn't look right or whatever. Because, when you're knitting, every little section will go through your fingers when you're knitting it. So, and so, sure, there's going to be things that happen at the mill that maybe I don't know about. So when I first started dyeing, I used to buy my yarn from a different mill, and I started noticing, every time I would dye yarn and I would skein, I'm like, gosh, there's just like something's wrong, with this skein or that skein. I'm like, I can't be selling yarn to people if I think they might end up with a skein that is not, perfect.
Well, I can attest that your yarn is absolutely amazing. It's so plump. Like, your skeins, I love it. I love your yarn.
Thank you.
You know I do. You know I love you. Oh my gosh. Wow. I think that's everything. I don't even want to know the time. I think we've gone. It's going to be amazing. People, if you want it, put us in 2 different systems. A little bit today and a little bit tomorrow. But I had so much fun. I had so much fun with you.
I did too. And just let people know, Melissa and I have been in talks about doing another knitting hookup, and so there might be one coming, not sure. But then I also have an Artistic Lilly channel that I've never posted anything on, but I'm seriously thinking about posting something on. I haven't had, let's say, with my husband working from home, it's been kind of awkward for me to try to film something, but he's going to be going back to work here this month, so I might start putting stuff on my channel. So if you want to go ahead and subscribe, it's out there. There's nothing on there. That below.
100%.
But anyway, I would love to have you on mine sometime, because it's so fun to hang out with other people. Yeah.
And I find right now, during all of these crazy times, you need that. Like, you need that time to hang out with, I'll call it your people, like the knitting community, and those people that really understand, like, excited about knitting and excited about these things, because I find it just lifts up your spirit. It makes you, I love it. And 100% I would definitely love to do that again on your channel. That would be so much.
Well, good. Yeah. No, this was a great time, and I'm glad we found time to do it. I know we had been in talks about it for, I don't know, a month or so?
At least. Yeah. And I remember that there was one day that we were supposed to, and I was supposed to bring the girls to my parents' house, and all of a sudden we wake up, and there was a huge snowstorm that wasn't even, like, planned. I was like, oh, never mind. Another weekend. So.
Yeah. Well, okay. So anyway, whoever the winner is of your podcast, whatever I have in stock, they can just pick out a skein of something, and I'll send it to them.
Do you want them to contact you directly or me?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. All All right. Well, I'm going to be pulling it on the next podcast.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Ellie.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. Bye,
Okay,
guys.
bye.